Hello everybody, it is me, SimAlley, and today I would like to talk to you about something a little bit personal. I got my popcorn, as you can see. Oh yeah. And I want to talk to you about how I lost my fight against anime. So, as per usual, I have my notes taken in and out of my binder. In fact, I'm going to take this whole binder and I'm just going to move it so I only have the one page so I don't have anything else distracting me. This is my binder. You can just go bye-bye. And random quarter for some reason. I don't need that. Okay. Got my popcorn. Just need a little bit of this. Let's talk. So, back in the day, and by back in the day, I mean a couple of years ago, I hated anime. Hard to believe, but I did. And the reason that I hated anime is because I'd never watched it before. Isn't that always the way? I think that's often the case with a lot of people, actually. But I can only really speak for myself. I was also influenced by my parents, my mom mostly, whose only exposure to anime was Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, back in the olden days, 80s, 90s, early 2000s kind of thing, where anime was considered the same as cartoons, which it's not, and anyone who says that they're the same as cartoons is wrong. I mean it. It's not the same. It's not the same. And I was never allowed to watch anime. But then I got older. And then I got depressed. And then I dropped out of college. And my mom was going to college. And I was alone at home with nothing to do except listen to some creepypastas and cry myself to sleep every night because I had no idea what I was doing with my life. And that was before I was a YouTuber. Anyway, I don't want to get on the depressed side here, so I decided to randomly, I was just going through watching YouTube, and I found a top 10 list of the darkest animes out there, and I picked one that looked interesting to me. So this may come as a shock to a lot of you, but the very first anime that I ever watched was Death Note. And a lot of you are going to be thinking, what? Me? Watching something like Death Note? I'm telling you, you don't really know me, man. Just gotta pull my bra straps up and just get a little bit honest with you. Honestly, yeah, I did. That's the first anime I ever watched. It was my first real exposure to anime was Death Note, and it was kind of crazy, actually. At the time, I kind of felt almost numb when I was watching it, and it was really interesting. And the storyline really intrigued me because, your first exposure to anime, the crazy stories usually seem a lot more amazing than they are. Then you watch a lot of anime and then you're like, okay, I'm starting to pick up the pattern here. But yeah, after that, I kind of went on an anime spree because I was still very depressed. And I watched things like Future Diary, also known as Mirai Nikki, or Nikki, or whatever. It was Future Diary, you guys. Why is this camera always shaking? Anyway, just having a moment. And I watched things like Future Diary, Death Parade. That one was kind of sad and depressing. Amnesia, I actually liked Amnesia. It actually was a video game originally, I think. And Steins Gate, I watched Steins Gate. And I watched it dubbed in English. All of these I saw in English, so this is, just go easy on me. This was my early days. I didn't realize that dubbing was terrible 90% of the time. I just wanted to watch it in English. I thought that's what you were supposed to do. And I had no idea. I had no idea. I also watched things like Fruits Basket. And the original one, not the remake. I did watch the remake. It's okay. But I did watch the original Fruits Basket. And I was actually probably a year later, no, maybe 6 or 7 months later-ish, around that time. I'd have to double check the dates, but that's when I started watching Steven Universe. And I heard it from one of my roleplay friends. And she said that Steven Universe was really good, and she also introduced me to Undertale. I guess it's probably because I started watching anime that I started watching Steven Universe. Even though Steven Universe isn't an anime, certain aspects of it are inspired by anime. Anyway, then came the ultimate antidepressant, and by this time my mom had already graduated, and I watched an anime that I never thought I would, but because I'd already been exposed to some pretty dark ones, and I'm not proud of it. I'm really not. Like, first anime being Death Note, that was terrible. And not the anime itself, I mean, it was pretty gritty and dark, but the story was interesting. My ultimate antidepressant was Black Butler. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much, in fact, that I started role-playing it online on DeviantArt and RP Nation and Discord with some people. And mostly lovely people, but it kind of became like a coping mechanism for me, and almost an addiction, really. There's a whole mess involved with that. And, excuse me, as with many things, I ended up going down an even darker pathway, and I ended up watching some ecchi anime, and I've never watched hentai, nor will I ever. I've never been into that. It's really not my thing. I'm not really interested in crossing that line, but I did watch ecchi. I have not watched hentai. Unless you count Dragonair Academy and Everyday Life with Monster Girls, that's kind of borderline, but yeah, I don't watch that stuff anymore. I'm good emotionally. I'm a little bit more stable-ish. I mean, not completely. I still have anxiety and stuff, but anyway, I watched things like Dragon Maid. That was really enjoyable. And then I got depressed again, and I watched Attack on Titan, dubbed. Both of those were dubbed. I feel dumb. I really should have watched it subbed, but I didn't. So that was a thing that happened. And a lot of people will argue that subbed is better than dubbed, and I'm not going to argue with you, but sometimes you're not in the mood to watch something subbed. And even though the vocals, you start to pick up that all of the voice actors and all of the animes are starting to be the same because they come from the same studio. Funimation, I'm looking at you. But sometimes you just want to watch it dubbed. And sometimes that's okay. If you don't feel like watching it subbed, then don't. But I can get that sometimes you miss a lot, and the context and the meaning of things changes completely compared to when it's subbed. So I get that. So I guess officially I'm an anime lover now. So that's a thing that's happened. I lost the battle, and I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. Like, do you guys watch anime? Do you enjoy anime? Have you, like, what are your favorite anime that you've watched? And is there one out there that you think I would enjoy? So, anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. And comment down below and just, you know, get a discussion going. Anyway, bye-bye now.